You're listening to the Downshift podcast, where four mates from Melbourne take you trackside for all the action in Formula One, breaking down the races, the drama, and everything in between, all with a little banter and a lot of passion. If you love motorsport and cars, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you're always on the grid with us. And if you want to support the team, leave us a 5-star review. So let's get into another action-packed episode. It's lights out, drop the clutch, and let's get racing. And welcome to the Downshift, where we're reviewing Formula One. As you'll see, I'm back into my papaya after the canning that I got the other week for wearing the Mercedes top, celebrating Kimi Antonelli's performance in Miami. So we're reviewing the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola, which is at the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Dino Ferrari in Imola. Set amongst the Tuscan hills in the Bologna region, this is a track with 63 laps in an anti-clockwise direction, where the first Grand Prix was held in 1980. The current lap record is held by Lewis Hamilton back in 2020 of 1 minute 15.484. And this is a track that was described as Pierre Gasly as one of the best experiences he's ever had in a Formula One car. So, Schwags, do you want to take us through some of the details of the track? No, Lockie.
Hold on. Before you start, I'd just like to point out two things to our listeners. First thing was, that is the first time Christian's actually got the introduction done in one session in a long, long time. And secondly, it's really good to see that your wife's caught up with the washing and now you got your top back. So, yeah, I'm glad with that. But now, Dan, you can jump in now, please. Continue.
Well, I was hoping you'd fill in the gaps because we're talking about a track, and you know how I love my tracks. Again,
all over them.
Don't forget the lines and the colours.
It's going to be black. There'll be colours. There'll be lines. I'm looking at that going, that's a very big sign when you're driving as a spectator to get to that track. That's a very big sign. The Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari Imola. Like, that's a big sign. But it sounds like it's a lovely
They might
place.
just call it the Autodrome.
Amongst the Tuscan hills in the Bologna region.
It is a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, so that's actually quite a not long race, lots of laps. But like we said before, like a short, with a lap record of 1:15, so it's quite short laps. What have we got? A narrow technical counterclockwise, which you probably covered. Yeah, so it'd be good, interesting track to see.
Overtaking is going to be the tricky thing on this, isn't it?
Very much so. So, I mean, you know, from that perspective is you've got one DRS zone, which is just after the start-finish line. So you're seeing that there. Some technical corners, really in regards to when you're talking about overtaking. The real opportunities are really at Tossa, which is the turn 7, which is a tight left-hander. And so seeing that there. Really, the car's slowing down. And then as you get into turns 14 and 15, which is a very, very tight right left-hander, so you're seeing the cars almost coming to a stop at this point. You'll see in 2024, a lot of the cars were coming off the track at this point. And getting caught up in the grass and the gravel.
So we could see incidences this weekend as the same as the previous race in Miami, where they went a bit deep, trying to protect the space there, and then you can possibility there for a good undercut and continue on down the road. I think that could be what we're going to see in this race as well.
Yeah, and the other beauty of this track is the elevation. So there is quite a bit of change in elevation. So as you're going into the back end of the track, so from turn 7 through to 14 and 15, there's quite a change in the elevation. So you're going up from turn 7 into turn 8 and 9. As you're coming through turn 11 and 12, you're actually coming down, and then as you're coming around 12, you're then going back up the elevation. So again, the impact on the car and the dynamics there presents some challenges for the drivers and gives them the opportunity to get really close. But it's also an opportunity for mistakes to be made.
Well, it was the track where we lost Ayrton Senna, which caused the raft of changes to be done in order to actually slow them down because that was too fast.
Correct. And so we've seen a number of those changes to make it a safer track and to slow the cars down to basically correct what happened with Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger in 1994. So if we go back to 2024, this is it can be pretty much a bit of a pedestrian race, and 2024 proved that there was very little action. But there was some overtaking, and so we saw some overtaking through through the race. And then this is where we saw Norris close a 5-second gap to be within a second and a half of Verstappen for the last 5 laps, finishing just off 0.725 seconds from Verstappen. So we had Max who took pole, and then the final result being Max in first, Lando in second, and Charles in third place for the race.
It's going to be tricky.
It is going to be tricky, and as we've sort of seen where we've come for the first 6 races, as we come into this one, we've talked in the last episode around the lack of performance of Ferrari, or just the poor strategic decisions that have been made. There is some honour at stake here at the Imola track. So, being that it's the first race back in Italy, it is literally around the corner from Modena, so Ferrari's HQ and the home of Enzo Ferrari. There's honour on the line here for Ferrari, so they're going to be wanting to have a good performance.
So there'll just be a few fans from Ferrari there, I take it.
I understand they've got a minibus booked in, so it should be all right.
Yes.
I think it's the same one that goes around Abu Dhabi, like the drivers come over to take them through there.
The Tifosi will be there in full regalia.
So are you trying to tell me, Christian, you think that the red might overcome the orange papaya? In terms of
in
fandom?
Regards to the fandom, absolutely. This is very much an Italian race, and so you'll see a flood of red across the track.
We are for a severe disappointment this weekend then.
And a flood of tears after the race, I imagine.
Bowls of pasta with, full of teardrops after this.
I mean, I thought we were talking about a chance of rain, but that wasn't raining Ferrari tears.
They'll still make the track wet, mate.
Look, and this is a track where weather can, again, it's unpredictable. So as we're coming into just looking at the weather at this stage, it is a cooler track than we're used to. So we've come from Miami, which is quite a hot track. We're looking at temperatures in the low 20s for the weekend. There's rain predicted for the Friday for FP1. Saturday and Sunday are predicted currently to be clear and sunny, getting up to top of 25 degrees. But then there are thunderstorms predicted for Monday. So there's every possibility that could come forward and potentially impact the race.
Does a cooler track sort of negate Ferrari's dominance with their tyre management and their cooling systems?
Look, in regards to the track temperatures, yes. So the challenge is getting the tyres up to temperature. So for this, it's going to be about that tyre management to be able to get the temperature up as quickly as possible. But the cooler track helps you maintain that tyre temperature, so you won't see as much degradation. So you'll see here Pirelli have nominated the softest compounds for this race, so being what you'll see for a street circuit. So for Imola and also Monaco, we're seeing the C6, the C5, and the C4. So the softest of the 6 compounds being offered as the hard, medium, and softs. As we look at this race, one of the challenges for the drivers here is that this is a track that actually rewards precision and confidence. It's got some really great corners, which highlight the driver's skill. So as we're looking at that, is the drivers need to be confident going into those corners and commit to the line they're taking. So this is where we can potentially see some spills between cars, and as we're seeing with Max and also Oscar, both going in and owning corners, they're going to go and take it to other drivers who are trying to get around them.
Because the circuit's also tight, it sort of then stops the side-by-side racing that we have seen in the last couple of Grand Prix as well. So unless there is that break-in opportunity, you're probably less likely to see overtaking occurring.
Yeah, and what you're seeing there is because the current car is a wider car, so for the tightness of this track, it's not suited to the bigger cars. I think this is where we're seeing with the FIA as we go to 2026, the reduction in the car size is allowing for a little bit more of this tighter, closer racing. And so, yeah, you're right there, Lockie, that you won't see as much of the side-by-side throughout the race.
I mean, when you talk about it being a precision track and rewarding precision drivers, you just can't help but think that it's going to really suit, the likes of Piastri, Verstappen, and the way they drive, and possibly Antonelli as well. I mean, it's sort of his home track, kind of, isn't it? Or
it is
one that he's done a lot of time on. So there's a lot of talk about the white smoke from the conclave, and then after that, the next person to win a Formula One was Kimi Räikkönen, I think it was, back in the day. And so everyone's like, oh, Kimi's going to win this one now because of the white smoke.
I wouldn't be putting a fiver on that one quite yet, Dan.
Not even a fiver? Wow.
But yeah, so from that regards, yeah, you're going to see those drivers who are confident with into the corners, taking the opportunities. I would suggest, and this is where being that that confidence, the potential for Lando struggling on this, as we sort of look in regards to whether or not he's going to be able to hold that line and be able to take it to a Max or to even an Oscar to win the corner, I think will be a challenge.
I would agree 100% on that. I think mentally he's probably going to struggle this race.
Okay, so that gives us opportunity to start to look at our predictions for the upcoming race. As you'll notice, one of the team members is not with us today, so Happy has phoned in his predictions ahead of time.
Oh, did he make the cutoff? I don't think he made the cutoff. I think he missed the cutoff, and I think we've.
I'm in greens with Dan. I don't think he made the cut. I did text through some predictions that we'd spoken about on the weekend that I could have sworn that that's the ones he told me to put through. Because I could have sworn he said he was going Lance Stroll for pole. He was going to go Bortoletto for the win. Stroll was going to come second after a lot minor off on one of the corners. And then Lawson was going to storm home for third place. I think that's what he really wanted to input there, Christian. So,
and that sounds absolutely legitimate to me. That
we've already got a
question
second,
in
so
my
maybe we
mind.
could just type that in there. We'll be right.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be the sensible one here because I know that this will end up at the stewards again, and we just don't have time for that. So look, Happy's put his predictions in. He's got Oscar for pole, Oscar for first, Lando for second, and Max for third. So I think playing it pretty safe there in regards to his predictions.
Pretty safe.
Pretty safe.
Yeah. Nothing much can go wrong with that, I suppose.
All right, Christian,
Apparently not.
You lay it online, mate. What have you got down for this week?
So, look, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So, from that perspective is, as I look at it, I think Lando's got something to prove here. Lando really needs to put his hat in the ring and be able to say, I'm capable and confident that I can do this. I think Lando's going to take pole. He's going to showing that he can be a little bit faster than Oscar in regards to this. So I've got Lando down for pole, although I don't think he's going to do well for the race. As I said, in regards to confidence going into the corners, it's not really a track for Lando and where his confidence currently is. So I've actually got Oscar going in first place, followed by Charles. And I've got Charles down there because for the honour of Ferrari and for the honour of Enzo, that they're going to need to do something here. And I think there's going to be a massive push to be able to do this.
Sounds like you're just tossing the point away to me, but you keep going. That's
I was thinking it was going to be Lewis, but no, I thought, no, Charles is the lead driver at the moment. I'm going to put him down there. And look, the steady hand of Handsome George coming in third place. I think Mercedes is still going to, again, Mercedes from last year was suited to a cooler track. So I think Mercedes is going to do well in this race as well. So Oscar, Charles and George.
You're still going off AI, Dan, or you're right to go?
Look, I probably should because I have no idea. There's a lot of favouritism here. I think, look, it'd be nice to see Antonelli do well. Antonelli will get pole.
Okay.
Okay.
Piastri will win it. And I'd like to put Antonelli and Russell second and third, but I just don't think Antonelli's got the race smarts to do a track like this and come out of it. Everyone wants him to win and, all the rest of it. I think Leclerc might come second and Russell will come third, kind of how I'm going to play this one.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I can't say I disagree with you because I've got exactly the same first, second, third as you, Dan.
I heard you say that, but I'm sort of just still jotting it on paper myself, trying to work out what's going to happen. But, again, who knows? But, and when I heard you say that, it's
good news is I think we're going to have 4 different pole sitters selected for this round, so that could be good.
Well, only one of us picked Stroll.
I think Verstappen's going to take pole. I think.
So Stroll was it? I heard Stroll.
Verstappen is going to take pole. I just think he's cornering on that. He's just, when it comes to the qualifying lap, he is just absolutely in the zone for those ones. I gut feel says Piastri will still win it. I'm going to put Verstappen for second and Norris for third.
Ooh.
That would be big.
Well, we're going to have a shake up on the leaderboard at the end of this, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So, so as we look at it, we've got Puppy on 20, you on 19, Lockie, myself on 16, and then Schwag sitting there in 9th. So, but yes, there's definitely, in regards to how this turns out, we could see some movement.
And just remind us, Christian, for viewing times for this race this weekend. What time are we viewing this weekend?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Asking the tough questions. My goodness, I was just thinking that. I thought I should Google it.
Pumping them out
ahead of time.
So, what time do I have to be at your house for breakfast? I suppose is more my question.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be 1 or 2 in the morning, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. So look, in regards to for the viewers in Australia, practice on Friday will be at 9:30 p.m.
That's reasonable.
So a respectable time for that. And then if we look in regards to Saturday, we've got FP2 at 1 a.m. followed by FP3 at 8:30. So on the Saturday evening. So again, another respectable time for watching FP3. Qualifying will be at midnight. So the great thing is we've got a poker night at my place on Saturday night. So after I win poker, we'll be able to sit there and watch qualifying.
You can have a consolation qualifying watching session.
And then for
I can bum $20 off someone for a taxi ride home. So that'll work out well.
Yeah, no, excellent. And then for the race, it starts at 11 p.m. on Sunday night for Australian viewers, and for those who are in Italy, it'll be at 3 p.m. as per pretty standard for that. So that's
actually not a terrible lineup for us.
It's not too bad, the timing. Yeah, so we're not up in the middle of the night, so we may not be in our pajamas. So
nobody
we never
wants to see
podcast
that.
in our pajamas.
No,
we can all be thankful of that.
So no, excellent. With that, so again, the Imola Grand Prix or the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix for the race number 7, we'll be doing the review of the race on Tuesday. So make sure that you subscribe so that you get the latest episodes as they drop, and we'll see you on the next lap. And that's the checkered flag for this episode of The Downshift. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us in the paddock. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a lap. And hey, if we've earned it, drop us a 5-star review. It really helps us climb the grid and reach more motorsport fans. Tune in next time as we keep pushing flat out to bring you fresh, current and entertaining content. Until next time, keep it fast, keep it fun, and we'll catch you on the next lap.